Evelyn and I are here to find out how's the hike on the Swamp Fox Passage of the Palmetto Trail. Well, we're underway. Nowhere we're going is on that sign. We're going to pass through Halfway Creek in 6 miles. It's a Friday, and just after New Year, before the girls go back to school. Olivia's busy. Evie's with me today. And we're going to try to do 17 miles to Turkey Creek, where there's an unmarked campsite. And then tomorrow, a big day, probably in the 20-mile range, to get to Cane Gully.
You did not tell me it would be 20 minutes. Can I turn back now?
Yeah, no, we're underway. You're going. And then the next day, a little shorter as we get to the other end. 47 miles. It's the longest section of the Palmetto Trail, and it's basically in our backyard. I hike out here all the time with my backpack on just to stay in shape. And so a lot of this trail is very familiar to me, including where we are right now. And then Mom will join us tomorrow, where we cross Highway 41. There's a place for her to park there. She's going to do 2 days and an overnight with us. So,
but Olivia is staying and sleeping.
Olivia's still sleeping. So, all right, first hike of 2019. Woo! All right, we're coming up to the intersection. Woo, slippery. This is the, if you're going to the Awandagh Passage, if you're actually going to do the hundreds of miles of the Palmetto Trail, you would have started down that trail. And then you're starting here basically at mile 7 of that trail is where you intersect. We've done that trail a lot. I usually hike most of the Awandagh Passage probably once a month, once every 6 weeks. Really nice stretch down by the Intracoastal Waterway that's beautiful and easily accessible. So, but as you can see on this trail, very, very flat. That's why we're trying to squeeze in high mileage days and do this 3 days instead of 4, because really most of the trails just flat like this, so no ups and downs. First of many road crossings. I'm gonna have to pause here. Steed Creek Road. All right.
I wish I was in a car.
Almost time for our first break. Lots of forestry roads out here, other access points. This is the one section of this area of trail I've never hiked. A few miles, a couple miles that I haven't hiked before. So it's nice to see something new. And we're finally getting away from traffic and the busy roads. Being a Friday morning rush hour when we started, there was lots of traffic. So it's nice to get away from that too. So almost time for our first break. Had a nice little break back there and come out of the woods. And now we're on this forestry road, which, as you can see, is the trail for a little bit as we make our way toward Halfway Creek campsite and Halfway Creek Road. And I'll talk a little bit later about the water situation on this trail, but I'll just say quickly that all of the water east of Halfway Creek Road, so the first part of the trail today, is, forest rangers say, you know, probably not something you want to try to drink or filter. A lot of brackish, salt, inundation, things like that. So yeah, I'll touch on that in a little bit. One of the interesting things about this trail is the sudden changes in the forest. I mean, so much of it is the tall pine trees. Then you walk into something like this. and then eventually back out of it, back into the pine trees. Just little cuts of different type of forest. Always nice when the Forestry Service puts these out. Mysterious bays, unsolved geological mysteries.
They don't know why it's caused. Could be a video.
What's interesting though is we just walked past, if you can look just over over the sign here, you can see the marshy, swampy bay that we're in. And I think a duck just scared the heck out of Evelyn.
No, it was a couple ducks.
We've made our big left turn following Halfway Creek. We're going to be coming through the Halfway Creek campsite here in a couple minutes. Not going to break there though, because it's usually pretty busy with what the forest rangers call homesteaders. Folks that stay there for quite a while. So we'll go a little beyond that and then have a break. And then we'll have another break when we make the next right turn, because I'll tell you more about the water on this trail at that time. And we're stopping there because I cached some water there. But more on that water situation up ahead. Well, that's interesting. We aren't even to the campsite yet, and somebody's gone to the trouble of building like walls. Maybe some Boy Scouts or something? I don't know.
Like a full fence.
Yeah. First I thought it might be for horses, but just looked like maybe some Boy Scouts were out learning how to do some skills. Well, here we are, mile 6, Halfway Creek. We've passed a bunch of primitive spots. You can see where you, oh, sorry Ev. You can see over here where you drive in and park your car and come out and pitch your tent. Used to be a well here. Back when the Forest Service had money, there was a well. And it's been decommissioned. It's actually straight up ahead here, right above Evelyn's right shoulder. So, but 6 miles from the trailhead for us isn't enough when you're doing a through hike. Plus it's right beside a very busy road. So more of a car camping type place than anything. But if you want to get away, certainly something to do. But if I was hiking and I wanted to stop soon today, I'd probably stop at Harleston Dam, which is a little further up in the woods and a little more private, but also busy, especially on the weekends. Lots of Boy Scouts and folks, because it's an easy walk in. So more camping up here, and then we're going to get past this area and have our break. If you've ever wondered what a pine cone does when it falls to the ground, there it is. And then if you look over there, you can see how they get bigger and grow. But that's how they start out. It's pretty cool. First time I ever saw that was on this particular part of this trail. Just doing some day hiking. So pretty wet here right now. In fact, we've just been looking at the radar because we still have a bit of cell service. And we know there's a cold front coming. Thank goodness, because it's, 100% humidity out here right now. But we're going to get rained on. Evelyn keeps saying, no, it's not going to happen, because neither her nor Olivia have ever been rained on while hiking. And like literally hiking, but, at night, sure. But
I mean, how many miles have I hiked?
What did you do last year? 236 miles?
Yeah, and I've never been rained on.
No,
it's not
just at night.
It's not going to start today. It's not going to happen.
Well, we'll see. I turned the video on to show you these trees. So back when Hurricane Hugo came through, it knocked this forest on its bum, basically. And I think they're called the cockaded woodpecker, became rather endangered. So what the forestry folks have done is when they see a woodpecker living in a tree, they mark the tree so that the tree is protected from any activity that might be going on. So pretty neat. You see that out here a lot. And for years, I kind of wondered, what's that all about? But that's what it's all about. And of course, being a national forest, it's a mixed use type of thing, including logging in places. But that protects those trees for those woodpeckers that took a long time to begin to recover after losing a huge portion of their habitat. So we stopped here for a break one day. I had the girls out doing a little training for the very first year they were doing some serious hiking. And I think I got a video somewhere just
here
on my phone of the two of you, or Olivia especially, just running through. These were all growing up. It was like a wheat field. Yeah, and you guys did this running through there. So we're back. I remember the sign. It's impossible to read it now. Something interesting is there. I don't know what, but it's over there. But I can see more of that kind of swampy area. But well, okay. All right, less than a mile to go for sure to the water cache. And then the big turn up toward Turkey Creek, closing in on 8 miles at this point. And
my legs are really starting to hurt.
We are out of shape. We're just talking about that.
I'm not out of shape. Excuse
You are totally out of shape.
I'm not.
And I'm worse out of shape. So, well, this is a familiar parking lot to me. The trail goes over there across Halfway Creek Road, and I usually park where this gentleman is, or lady, whoever's parked there. But behind that tree down there, I cached some water. So I'm going to go get it, and we're going to fill up our things, and then I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, a second ago I was telling you we cached some water here, and here's why. Everything toward the ocean from Halfway Creek, basically not supposed to filter it. Could be brackish, salty, you know, yucky. Everything this way up, if you find fresh water, you could probably filter it. In fact, I added a carbon filter to our Platypus Gravity Works so that we could take the taste of the swamp out as best we could. That said, I have cached water in different areas along the trail, and I'll come and pick up the bottles, obviously, after we're done. Because you just can't count on the water on this trail, the bottom line. Well, this time we can, because it's been raining nonstop and it's going to rain again today, so the creeks will come up and you can filter some water. But a lot of times out here it's bone dry. So, and you know me, I like to be self-sufficient and carry what I need for the entire hike, but the exception to that rule has to be water, because without it you can't continue. So, did a water cache here, another one up the way a little bit, and then when we meet Mom tomorrow morning at Highway 41, at the intersection there, she'll have some water in the car there that we'll go ahead and fill up with as well. So, a little lunch break here. And we're pretty much almost at the halfway point to where we're heading tonight, which is good. Last couple miles will probably be in the rain.
It's not going to happen.
Well, we'll see. Now we've just crossed, this is a section I know really, really well. This is kind of one of my go-tos that I come to hike. It's prettier up in here. Harleston Dam campsite is up here as well. I'll show you that when we get there. This is where I saw my first wild pig in the woods. I'll show you where that was, just for fun. But nice little walk up through here for a bit. All right, we're kind of coming into the Harleston Dam area. The main campsite, the official campsite's up a ways, but this is often used, hasn't been used for a while. This is often used here as a kind of a primitive campsite. We've come in to do some training hikes.
I've been here. And
seen, like, people who left the campfire kind of burning. So, but you can see over there, some people have gathered wood and stuff. So, just off the road. In fact, we can still hear traffic. So, it's a busy road. Anyway, Harleston Dam's up here. I'll show you that here next. As promised, over here, I'll keep walking because we got to keep moving. That's the Harleston Dam campsite. Nice fire pit in there. I often see Boy Scouts down here and families because it's so close to the road. I'll come out here walking and see people. Oh, the sign's back up. That's good. This was down for a while. So yeah, Harleston Dam.
I thought you said we weren't going to stop, Dad.
Right. We've been quiet because over here is where I first ran into the wild boar here in the Francis Marion National Forest. I stopped here one day and the trail's now going to turn left. It used to go straight. The trail's going to turn left now, so I stopped here, put my pack down, and went off into the woods for a pee-pee. And I went up in there And I looked over and I saw this black thing, and it scared me because you don't expect to see anything, right? It didn't scare me, but it was like startled me. So I went, hey, and a whole group of them. I don't know what you call a group of pigs. What are a group of pigs? Do we know? No. Anyway, we'll flash it right here. They all took off into the woods and scared me. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, no signs around here. There have been lots of signs on the way up here, but haven't seen anything around here right now. So. This is interesting. This has been closed forever. There was a big gully there from, I guess, a washout or something, and they've been in and fixed it. So this road is now accessible. Interesting.
Well, they came in and maintained a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of maintenance going on, actually. But it was funny because I was out here doing a practice hike, and there was an old piece of equipment sitting up here. It looked like an antique to me, but I guess it wasn't. I guess they were using it. Cool. I don't know if you can see that or not, but
Oh, they can see
some
it.
scat. They're obviously, whatever it is eating these, I would say eating these berries, because that's the color of it.
And the bears are gone.
No, there really aren't bears. There's not a large population of bears in this part of the state.
6 sightings a year.
Something around 6 sightings a year.
There aren't bears.
That said, there are 6 sightings a year. So
Oh no, Dad.
anyway, we're always careful for all types of animals.
Of course.
But
That looks fresh though.
that's pretty fresh. Pretty fresh. Interesting.
Could it be boar?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see something. Ooh, that would be cool. Our last road crossing for the day. Last home stretch up to Turkey Creek from here. At least that's our plan. A trail like this, I'm always open to changing that, but it is a nice little spot. Check for cars. What do you think? I think we're safe. So we've got another water cache over here. So what I'm going to do is fill up our camelbacks again, our water bladders, and then put a little extra in the clean water of the platypus so that we have water up here for cooking tonight. I don't mind carrying a little extra weight so that I don't have to filter anything up there. And then, we'll try to get a tarp set up that I brought that I'm going to abandon tomorrow in the car when we cross 41 and pick up Mama. So a little break here in the rain, and
I ate my words.
oh, that's right. First time ever hiking in the rain. Fun, huh?
I hate it.
Always a challenge.
Karma for me.
I'm pretty happy about these little boardwalks because I've been out here when it's dry and there's still water here. Not like this, of course, but man alive. Someone lost their shoe. Well, there's a sight for sore eyes. Fire pits in there, lots of room. I'm gonna go up here to the official entrance. Heavy, you can go on in, sweetie. Heavy's bagged up here. So here it is, Turkey Creek, and it's not on the official maps. And that's fine. It's nice to have something you know about. Well, it was something that only not a few people, but it was a good, well-kept secret until the most recent edition of Backpacker magazine came out, where they talked about hiking this trail and talked about this campsite. So if you are watching this video because you read that article, hope you enjoyed day one. Looks like somebody's been out here since I was here last and bucked up some wood. We appreciate that. I'm not sure it's going to burn, but we're going to try it, right?
I can't speak.
Levy can't speak. We're going to set up a tent, I think, right over there. Quick shot around camp. We've quickly set up the tent over here. I'm going to duck in there now. It's getting dark, so I wanted to show you this before it got too dark. I mean, the cameras are doing a good job of showing you here, but yeah, all set up. Got the Garmin inReach over there, trying to find a signal so Mom knows we're safe. Also, so we can contact her in the morning and say we're underway because she's meeting us. And, you know, if we can find some dry wood, and that'll be a bit of a chore, we're going to try to have a fire. But first, I'm going to go inside and set up my stuff and lay down for a few minutes. Holy moly, that was a long day. Well, that's the end of day one. We left Allendale early this morning and hiked 18 miles up here to Turkey Creek. That's about 28, 29 kilometers, almost 29 kilometers actually, which is a pretty long day for us.
Yeah.
Challenged only by tomorrow, which is supposed to be 20 miles. We don't have a lot of time to hike this trail right now, so we're doing it in 3 days. I would probably suggest 4, but we'll talk about that after we finally experience the whole thing ourselves. 4 miles tomorrow morning early to get out before 9 to meet Mom at Highway 41, and then 16 more miles to King Gully, which is supposed to be a very pretty campsite, and we'd love to stay there tomorrow night if we can make it. But a lot of walking, huh? We've done some pretty challenging days and some pretty challenging elevations, but after not hiking for a while, the 18 miles today felt pretty long.
Yeah, I mean, 18 miles is just long in general. You know?
It is. It's a lot of steps.
It really is. And it just, no matter how fit you are, it's going to hurt your feet no matter what.
Right. And it was soaking wet, and we had waterproof socks on, which I'll talk more about tomorrow, which saved us.
I will leave them so many reviews.
Yeah. Very, very good. So, anyway, we had a nice dinner, no campfire, just too wet. But we'll try again tomorrow night for that with Mom. And,
ate dinner in the pitch black?
We did eat dinner in the pitch black, yeah. But now we're just going to take a little rest, maybe play a game, and get a good night's sleep for a big day tomorrow. So, see you in the morning. Morning. Welcome to day 2. About 7:20. We're off to meet Mom. Just slowly pan around here. Evelyn's packed up. Tent's packed up. We're good to go. And thank you, Turkey Creek. A little bit of a interesting morning getting up in the pitch black. But we did a good job. And then, of course, just as the sun started to come out, we heard gunfire. Which is interesting, because I actually hiked this trail as kind of an in and out day hike just to see this campsite so we could bring Evelyn's friend out. And I heard gunshots that day. And that was like on a Wednesday. So I thought hunting season was over, but anyway, it is what it is. And in case you're wondering, that's why we have these big yellow rain covers on, even on a day when it's supposed to be beautiful and sunny, because we want to be seen, just in case. So we were kind of warned that Turkey Creek might be flooding a bit, and getting to the bridge might require some water. We have our waterproof socks on again today. I have to say, they worked perfectly yesterday in the pouring rain, and we had to walk through a lot of water. And we wear toe sock liners. They're perfectly dry. Hey, Ev?
Yeah, it was great.
It was fantastic. So we actually bought these for the North Boundary Trail for last summer, the infamous now North Boundary Trail, because we thought we would just leave our boots on and cross some of the, bad creeks. So anyway, they worked really well. Highly recommend it. Here we are, Turkey Creek Bridge. Hopefully not as swampy on the other side. I think there's some sections though that are swampy on the other side, but all right. Could be slippery, Ev. Take your time. We've just come out of the Turkey Creek area. You can see here that This is part of the experimental forest stuff, or was. Forest research, experimental plot. Please do not disturb the area. I'm assuming they mean up in there because the trail is right there. So off we go. On our way to Highway 41, we'll be cross that and meet Mom, who will do, for the first time, a 16-mile day. What do you think?
She's got it.
Sure she does, yeah. All right, well, we're gonna find out. Nice to see the sun. It's pretty gray.
Oh my gosh, lots of birds.
Oh, birds, yeah. Pretty gray yesterday, and lots of rain. Lots of wet trail today, especially in the low sections, which we're coming up to here again, so it's hard to make time picking your way through there. Lots of signs of wild boar here too. I've actually seen wild boar right around this area when I was out here scouting out Turkey Creek, so maybe we'll see one this morning. We're quiet. All right, we're here at Highway 41. I don't know if you can see it. There's Mom in the car. Highway 41 is very busy, so we're gonna stop filming and cross safely. And then Mom's got a water cache for us. And then we're gonna head up hopefully another 16 miles. That'll be up to Mom. See how that goes. Well, we're off. Our water resupply. A little longer break than we expected, but that's okay. Had some re-juggling of gear to do. I dropped a tarp that we never used and some poles. And Mom is here. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
16 miles. Well, how do you feel?
I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah, you shouldn't probably think about it. That's a lot of walking. And it's wet out here. I will say this, I'm excited now that we're on this part of the trail, because I had pretty much hiked that entire section you saw up until we crossed 41 in parts, just for training, you know, getting out with the backpack on and getting in the woods. So I kind of knew all but a mile of that. This I've never been on, so I'm kind of excited. We're going to pass 2 campsites today, Nicholson Creek soon, and then Witherby by the old ranger station. And if you had 4 days, I think tonight you'd want to stay at Witherby and just hope the trains weren't too loud with the rail line nearby, instead of trying to do a big day like this. But we only have 3 days to do this hike, so tomorrow is hopefully a short day of 10 miles. If we can get to Cane Gully today, which is the goal. But I would suggest 4 days. And you know, usually for us, we like to take our time and spread it out anyway, so this is quite the opposite. So onward to Nicholson Creek from here. I don't know if you can see this or not, but if we're in the mountains, we'd say we're going up a cut line. We're not. It's like an old cart path. And but look way up there, the light. That's how far ahead. We've been going straight like this for the entire time since we left the car when we met Mom. Actually makes for really good walking after what we did this morning through Turkey Creek. Welcome. We are past Nicholson Creek campsite. I'll be honest with you, I missed it. We were looking for it, and I wanted to show it to you, and I'm sorry. I think what happens, unless we all completely missed it on the trail, You get to this intersection, it's like a cross, and straight ahead, it looks like you're gonna go straight ahead on the trail. But you don't, you make a sweeping turn left. And I didn't really look right to see if the campsite was off to the right, but it's got to be there around that intersection because that's mile 28. So we're gonna cross the road here and basically follow Witherby. So just kind of show you, the trail comes out here at the old Witherby Ranger Station. They've replaced the station with a nice new place down the road. Trail comes out here. There's a parking lot over there. We're gonna actually take a break here in the shade, and the trail heads back down that way, right there. We are almost to where I stashed some more water, and very close to the Witherby campsite, which I hope I won't miss, so I can show you. And then we've still got a ways to go. Yep, Witherby Primitive Camp. You can read the old paint. Let's have a look around here. As I mentioned earlier, pretty close to the CSX rail tracks. But nice spot actually, lots of tent pads.
Nice fire pit.
Lots of places to go. Little fire pit here. So, yeah. Just kind of scoping it out. Water running over that hill over there. Nice little creek. Perfect. Onward. Coming back out toward the road, which we're going to walk down a little bit. Cross over the railway tracks I mentioned earlier. Then the trail cuts back left on this side and goes down toward Alligator Creek. So we're going to do that. Well, I said we've heard gunshots all day, but didn't expect to see that. I see buckshot, see some pretty good caliber shells there too. Well, we're going this way. Little Hellhole Reserve. We've got less than 3 miles left to Cane Gully, which we're going to have to go in where they're building the bridge and the campsite, and then backtrack out in the morning. At least if I read the map, that's what I think. I haven't seen it, so we'll know soon. You can see the sun's getting low. It's about 4 o'clock. It's been a long day, so not too far to go. How's that bushwhacking for you?
I'd love to point out BTS saves my life. Countless occasions. Oh.
We are looking for mile marker 38, which gets us pretty much to Cane Gully. And then we're going to try to find a campsite. We know, as I said before, the bridge is out. Campsite's still permitted for use, or any place around there will be fine at this point. Pushing 20 miles for Ev and I, and 16 for Mom.
And that's around 32 kilometers.
Yeah, we'll show you the kilometers right now on the screen. Okay, but it's dusk now, so our light is limited. The hunters are back out, I guess based on the time of day. So lots of gunshots in this area tonight. But a ways away from the trail. If my old days in the woods remind me. Well, we don't know if you can see this because of the headlamps, but we're indoctrinating Mom tonight into the instant mashed potato snack at camp. Go ahead, Mom.
All right, Mom.
Yep.
Thank you. It's good.
Yeah. Baby, it is good.
Nice and hot too.
Tent's set up. Evie's gonna do the inside, and then we can get the light shining properly. Denise is gonna attempt some baking. Mommy, what do we got going on here?
So we are going to be making first some buttermilk biscuits. We have an Outback oven, or components of an Outback oven. Unfortunately, we were interested in purchasing one, but it's discontinued. So Stuart was able to find replacement parts. We've kind of cobbled it together. So let me take you through what we've got. On the base, we've got just some plain tin foil that I brought that's going to reflect the heat up. We've got the stove.
Which way do I turn it?
No, you don't touch it, you just pump it.
And
the red pump, pull it out, punch it in. Sorry, Denise.
Okay.
So I want your flame to go hard, hard, hard.
So we've got a burner, and then there's supposed to be a little metal spacer, but we're using rocks instead.
That's really smart. How'd you think of the rocks?
I just knew I needed to create space between the pan and the burner so that it doesn't burn. So here's the pan. Now we don't have the lid, so what I've brought is more tin foil. I'm going to make an oven kind of tented. So first we've got the Bisquick buttermilk, just add water. So we've got a half a cup of water, and I'm going to pour it into the Ziploc bag
It's
that
like
I
a
brought.
cooking show. I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
I know, but I'm freaking out that the flame's gonna go out on you.
And,
No,
and
no.
I'm just going to mix it up in here.
It's like a tutorial.
Yeah.
Not bad after walking 16 miles and lugging all that in here.
It's feeling a little bit liquidy right now, so I'm hoping it's going to thicken up. And I even brought a measuring cup. It is 1/3 of a cup measure cup.
That's from our kitchen. Like that's an
Yep,
actual.
it's just very light aluminum. So,
So why don't we check the flame, and we'll be right back here in a minute.
yeah, okay.
Just got the gas pumped up. I just wanted to show you now. This is the work here that's being done.
Now I'm just scooping it out of the Ziploc bag.
You need to come hiking more often.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah, this was a bit heavy, I'd say.
Yes, it's a little insane to
You
carry
know
that
what
16
though?
miles.
I think it's worth it.
Probably why Backpacker's Pantry stopped making the backpacker oven. Maybe the dawn of the ultralight age.
Yeah.
I bet that there are ways that you can make this so that it is a lot lighter.
Maybe.
Probably, yeah.
And I'm the spotlight over here. Just like.
All right, we're going to check in during the bake or after the bake. I can't wait.
Me either.
Well, there's the timer.
There's the timer to check again.
Truth. Moment of truth.
Well, let's see what's happening.
Oh,
They're
man.
baking.
They are baking. Maybe, can you flip them? Is that even something you can do when you bake?
Sure, you can.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I smelled. Beautiful.
But they're still a bit raw.
Well, this will do them.
They've risen.
They sure have.
Okay. The lid back on.
Okay. Can't wait to try those soon. We'll be back with the finished product after these messages.
And now the unveiling.
Oh, baby, baby.
They look good.
Sure beats Mountain House.
So, are we going to try them?
You can try one. Tell us what you think, and then we'll get into it. Like, it's hard to hold the camera and eat a muffin biscuit. Oh, they're
look,
cooked.
It's really nicely cooked too. Look at that.
That's fantastic. Is it hot?
Yep, it's hot. It
Pass the smell
smells
test? All right, good.
good. Yeah.
What do you think? Pretty good for the backcountry, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Did you bring any butter?
No. Although that would have been very nice.
Well, that's the end of day 2. 20 miles for Evelyn and I, and 16 on day 1 for Denise. Picked Mom up at Highway 41, and it was really cool you brought all that baking stuff.
Yes.
Could you bring butter next time, please? I'm so kidding.
Going to
I don't
be
even eat
next
butter.
Time
No.
for the baking
It's a lot of weight. Oh my goodness that you carried in here. So fortunately we consumed some of it. Tough day. Tomorrow, supposed to be 9, but the bridge is out here over King Gully, which I'll show you tomorrow here at the campsite. Because it was dark when we get in, because Evelyn and I basically hiked from sunrise to sunset. So we'll show you that in the morning before we head out. We have to do a bit of a reroute, so maybe somewhere probably around 10 miles. So we might sleep in a tiny bit just to rest and then carry on. But we had a nice evening. A little fire, nice dinner, gunfire, hounds. I literally sounds like the back 40 of a British estate here. Somebody released the hounds here a few minutes ago.
Yeah, the bloodhounds were released, and they just started howling and like running.
Yeah, and we've heard lots of gunfire all day. So,
you can hear them.
I thought hunting season was over, but I guess I'm wrong. And the reason I say that is because I was going to hike this trail solo in the fall, and the weekend I was going to go out, they were having dog-driven deer hunts for kids 17 and under. So I wasn't. You can't hear that, but they're out there.
I can hear them.
They're out there. So, anyway, we'll see you in the morning.
If we live.
Morning. Day 3. As I said, as we went to sleep, 9 miles typically, and probably about 10-ish today. Also, as I promised, I'll give you a little tour around camp. There's our tent. Lots of condensation on it this morning due to the overnight temperatures. As our mom did her baking last night, we called that the kitchen. We had a little fire, nice open area here, water, and then that's what we walked in to see last night. I'm actually not going to rant at all, other than to say anyone who comes out in the woods should leave no trace, know the rules, and follow them. That is disgusting. Somebody already tried to clean up some over here. I'm actually going to pack out what I can so that volunteers don't have to do it, but really not cool. I mean, just, anyway, it's disgusting. Ladies are inside packing up. Take you over here, give you a quick quick tour, show you where they're building the new bridge across King Gully, which is why we have to do the reroute this morning. Pretty little spot. There's the there's the equipment for the bridge. And just real quick, this is where the bridge is going to be. Obviously, there's another one of these pieces of cement out near where we walked in, and there's our morning. So Evelyn this morning is trying these oatmeals. If you remember in our video of Congaree National Park, I tried one of these, and actually Denise last night had 2 of them for dinner.
Because they have pretty low calories, but you can literally add like water from like a swamp and put it in here, and it'll boil on its own, and then you just like eat. Then there's a little package you have to open, and there's just food.
Yeah, so it eliminates the need for a lot of water for hydration and even fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought these for this trail because when I first started researching this trail a few years ago, if you read online, it says there's no water source on the trail. Well, that's actually not true. I mean, there's no hand pump water source on the trail. There used to be, and that's probably why they say that. But there's plenty of water after you pass Halfway Creek heading west. There's plenty of water to filter. So Evie, we're gonna, let you get that out of there. And
it's hot.
yeah, don't burn yourself.
Oatmeal brown sugar.
Oatmeal brown sugar.
Okay.
Product placement.
Well, we'll take a sponsorship. Why not?
Okay.
Is it better than the instant that we usually pour?
I don't know. I'll have to try it, but it's actually like oatmeal.
So it is better. It's like real oatmeal.
It is real oatmeal.
Yeah.
It is like if you like boiled oats instead of like put it in the microwave.
Oh, that's definitely better then.
Yeah.
All right, bon appetit. We are underway. Lovely leisurely morning, which was really cool after such a hard day yesterday. Gorgeous day. Mom was just asking if she thought we could get across there to save a mile or so. No. That would be a no. I mean, you probably could actually, but not today. So back out this little trail we came in last night, the actual trail, and we have to intersect a road and make a right, and then we walk that up for a ways. I think 1.4 miles, something like that. And then we make another right to re-intersect the trail, and then head toward the car, which is near Bono. So, not going to probably show you much of the forestry road. But when we see something that we like, you'll see it too. Well, we just come from down there. As I mentioned, we now come out to this road and walk along that way, and then we'll eventually make a left on the trail. And that's where our next water cache is. Although I'm not sure we need much of it, but we'll take it anyway. Always tough to see with the leaves, these big holes. This one was covered pretty good. So Evelyn did a very good job of that, kind of pointing those out. Bridge needs a little repair, which is not unusual. And lots of water, but that's pretty. Nice to see running water out here because you don't always see it. Wow, how about those shots, huh? Gorgeous. Reminds me of a little bit of Congaree National Park. But really neat. There are some cypress here, actually. I can see them, but this is so pretty. Wow. Unexpected after days in the pine.
There's like rainbow in the water. You see that?
Very cool. This is beautiful. This is cool. Come in with your canoe or kayak and you can paddle around here for, I bet you, miles.
All around the swamp. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
We're also talking about the amazing people that bring all this wood in here to build these boardwalks. Woo! You think it's tough walking through with a backpack on. You try lugging that stuff in and working all day.
And I mean, in the summer,
yeah,
come kayaking, I mean, this must be like so lush.
Yeah, but summer's hot here, so.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you can find a good day.
Heck, it's January and it's hot. So.
I know.
Ooh, 44. 3 to go.
You notice we're just walking through the water.
Yeah, I'm just going to show you. I don't care anymore.
Sorry,
I don't. But it's a good point to bring up at this moment then. If you've made it this far, waterproof socks.
Oh God.
I did mention it earlier in the video. I bought these for the North Boundary Trail, where I thought it would be a really good idea in some of those dangerous fords you have to do to keep our boots on but not get our feet wet.
With the tread,
Yeah, with the tread, and because where they're placed in the trail, there's considerable hiking to do after you've gone across these creeks and rivers. So we'd never, because of the North Boundary changes this summer, we never got a chance to use them. So we've used them all 3 days out here. And I'll also say the Swamp Fox Passage is a very good name. It was, of course, named after Francis Marion, who fought in the Revolutionary / War of Independence, whichever your history book said. He came out here and hid in the swamps, and the British had a heck of a time getting through this. And, well,
Yeah, go that way.
we are too. It's dead.
It's a raccoon. I think.
No, look at that fur.
Well, look at these teeth. It's not a deer.
That's a dog-like animal to me.
Well, this is.
Yeah. Well, but look at that fur. You know, some sort of dog-like
And look,
creature.
there's its paw.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking at that paw. That's definitely the hind paw, I would say, of a dog or a coyote.
never
Look at
seen-
those ants on it. Oh, look. And interestingly enough, a shotgun shell. Yes, we've just come across a road, and the carnage gets better up here. Actually, there's two of them. There's one there. Or is that? Yeah.
No, the two different
That's
spines.
two different spines. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Trying to figure it out. Yeah. This has been the wettest section of the trail by far after we crossed
Yeah, that's up to my.
Highway 17. Yeah, this is deep here too, but very, very wet. We've just plowed through it because we've got, you know, a mile and change left and waterproof socks, so not really to worry, but very, very wet this section. It's not always this wet, to be honest. If you're watching this trying to plan a hike, it's actually not always this wet.
Oh,
No,
We've had an unseasonably.
we've had a ton of rain. Like I said earlier, and like we said in our year-end video, we've tried to get out weekend after weekend, and all it's done is rain, so lots of water around. All right, we're looking for mile marker 46, and then
We'll be done.
one last push to 47. Oh,
Wait, I didn't even see that. Is that the marker?
46.
Oh my god. Please be exactly 47 miles or slightly less.
Well, let's go find out. Evie, it looks like you're walking on water.
Yeah, I can't even see the board I'm walking on anymore, so I'm honestly starting to believe that.
Yeah, I could use a miracle right now if we get to the trailhead. It'd be good.
Yeah.
One last little kick from the trail at the very end.
Or the very beginning.
Or if you're going it in the opposite direction, hiking toward Onda and the ocean, this will greet you in mile number 1.
Welcome to the trail.
Woo.
It's kind of cool though. Like I've never hiked anything like this before. Like I've never walked.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, look around.
It's really quite cool. The amount of different
Yeah,
type of like biomes and stuff that I've been able to hike in. It's pretty
very cool. All right, we'll see you at the trailhead. All right, we're all just standing here because we just came through that. I showed you that area we just came through, and you'll see a marker there. And the trail actually veers to your sort of your left or straight ahead when you come out of that section. We actually saw an old marker, and you can't see it anywhere on video, but it's over there off to the right.
Over there. I
Yeah,
saw it and I was like, oh great.
So we went right, and then there was nothing. So I just want to mention that. I know we said we'd see it at the trailhead, but it is tricky after you get out of that swamp. But the rule is, and you know it, if you can't see another marker, or you think you're off the trail, go back to the marker you last saw and look around. And that's exactly what we did. And then we found the trail again. So don't get panicked. Just go back to the last marker you saw and look around, take your time. I see it. I see the trailhead.
Yes.
And I see Evelyn and Olivia's car.
Yes.
I nicknamed it Blueberry because it's blue.
And it's
A
not.
few other cars here today too. Oh baby, 47 miles for Evie and I, and 18 less for Mom. No, 22 less for Mom, sorry. Sorry, Mom. Okay, we're gonna take this off and find out how's the hike. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Well, 47 miles on the Swamp Fox Passage, longest of the Palmetto Trail. And this year we decided not to do the how's the hike 10-point thing, but we're still going to talk about things. And so, I mean, how's the hike?
I thought it. No. I thought it was good. I mean, we did it in 3 days. That was pretty tricky. It just, I have really.
Do it in 4.
Yeah, do it in 4. My legs, I mean, especially if you're like short, like it's just hard, you know?
Yeah.
I think if you really want to like appreciate like the nature around it and everything like that, I say do it in 4. But even though we did see a lot of like conditions that weren't necessarily, you know, we were like ankle deep in mud and stuff like that, I still think, you know, not all the conditions are like this. It's not always like this. And so the trail maintenance does a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we want to thank everyone at the Palmetto Trails.
Yeah, absolutely.
They helped us plan this hike because the maps need a little, you know, new updating and stuff, and they're doing work all the time in there. But thanks for your help and being out there making the trails fun and safe to use. And I think that's it. So until next time, thanks for watching.